going on, everybody? Welcome to Rants by Robbo. This is actually take 3. Fuck hay fever. No, I just had to blow my nose and whatever else. Had to take Nurofen. That's for my own personal reasons, but fuck hay fever right off. I'll never tolerate sneezing. I never fucking did. I hate sneezing. I fucking still do. It sucks balls. Oh. Anyway. This is top 10 modern athletes who play and or compete in overseas and World Series and such and such. So we're excluding the NFL, we're excluding the AFL, we're also excluding cricket, and yeah, we're just looking for Australian athletes who are going overseas and representing Australia and doing a good fucking job at it. So bear with me, because fuck, I hate runny noses. Anyway, starting at the bottom of the list is Jack Della Maddalena. I'm going to tag him in this. He won't get back to me, but I want to know how to say his name. The man comes out of Western Australia, fights in the welterweight division at the UFC, and does well fucking at it. I saw Jack's first fight, and he absolutely minced the cunt. He went in there and killed him. He has a fight coming up, obviously, in the description. I'll let you know all that's going on. But Jack Della Maddalena. I don't know how to say it. I do know of a fighter that comes from Goulburn, Australia, who's in Liverpool right now, and I remember him when I was really, really young. His name is Joel Downey Cave, and he fucking kills people. And I'll be obviously promoting the fuck out of him next time he goes into the ring, because he's a fucking animal. Good guy, and I used to train with him. I want to get back into training, and I wish he was still there, but he's not, because he's out there training with Meatball Molly and such, like a fucking man would. So, shout out to you, JDC. Shout out to you, JDM. The next one on the list is Tai Tuivasa. Tai Tuivasa comes from Western Sydney. He's a Penny Panthers boy. Comes out of Western Sydney, and he competes in the heavyweight bout. He just took a nasty loss to Cyril Gaines, but he's a banger, and he will brawl with you. He can throw a nasty right hook and a few, so I've come full circle on Ty. I used to not like him a lot, and it was just out of jealousy because he was happy with who he was and the way he looks, and I didn't really accept that. I was not a very accepting young gentleman, but I am now. Good on him. Get into it, bang on, Ty. Smash on, brother. Get into it. Mad respect to him. He's an animal. He's someone that I look up to. So yeah, good on you, champion. The next one on our honorable mentions list. Guess who? This motherfucker ran 100 k's a day from fucking Perth to Bondi. Ned Brockman, stand the fuck up, son. Dude, this guy was a fucking animal. Yeah, so big shout out to Ned Brockman, man. He should be winning the Athlete of the Year award. Who the fuck runs from Perth to Bondi? Hear that one European in the background? It's not even that far, dickhead. Please. Like that is more than a commendable effort. That's more than something that I look up to. That's a hell of a fucking athlete. That is one hell of an athlete. So well done to Nettie Brockman for doing that. Another one, the final one on the honorable mentions list is Cameron Smith, the golfer. Cameron Smith, the golfer, has a nice, beautiful mullet, nice, beautiful mane, and he is killing it. He recently went to the Open. You go like the Open. I think he went on the PGA Tour, and he has been hitting dimes. You know how he does, but he does an amazing wedge with his. I think he has an iron 4. I don't know much about golf. I can't tell you that I do, but I can tell you that he's a fucking gun. So there you go. And the next one, now we're in the top 10 list. Number 10, she recently just retired. To everyone's shock, Ash Barty. Ash Barty was an incredible tennis player, and she was on the face of Vegemite. Have some Barty mine? No? You don't remember? Well, maybe fucking do. Okay? Ash Barty, for sure is one of our best athletes ever produced. She won a Grand Slam. She hit the beers pretty hard afterwards. Respectable. It's a respectable feat. You know, you got to do it. It's an Australian thing. It's part of the dance. You got to do these sorts of things. You got to rep the Australian pride. You got to have a little bit of Bogan in you. You know, a little bit of Australia in you. You know, it's what it's all about. It's what we represent. You know, you got to love it. So yeah, Ash Barty for sure, man. For sure. One of the best tennis players we've produced in a long, long time. Number 9, another tennis player. But this man is in a wheelchair, and his name is Dylan Alcott. Dylan Alcott kills it. Absolutely kills it. Went into the Australian Open, I believe, and fucking dominated. He also got known for hitting the beers hard afterwards. So there you go. He hit some nice corner shots, hit some nice fucking cruises, coronas. He was fine. He was cruisy. He's a cool dude. He's a very cool guy. He's a very strong advocate for men's health. So all credit and power to you, Dylan. Keep at it, brother. Dylan Alcott for sure. The next one on our list in number 8. Now this man hasn't competed in a long time, but he's in the background. He was at the Olympics for us. He was in a commissioning team the whole way through. His name is Ian Thorpe. Ian Thorpe, you're like, bro, he's old as fuck. Ian Thorpe, why the fuck is he on the list? Because he was one of the first LGBTQ plus athletes for Australia who fucking dominated and is a huge advocate for LGBTQ plus Australian athletes. He's a huge advocate. So that's why he's on a list. That's why he's at number 8. And that's why he's so high up, is because of what he does to advocate those kind of people and the amount of strength he has in the business of swimming. And just he helps every Australian athlete he helps every single Australian athlete you can think of. So shout out to Thorpe. He's still fucking getting after it. Good on you, champion. At number 7, we have George Kambosos Jr. GKJ. George Kambosos Jr. is a famous Australian boxer who did go to the WBA, World Boxing Association, and he did well. He did really, really well. He is one of the boxers who represents Australian pride. He works like a fucking mad dog. But he parties he gets after it, so get into it, son. Get into it. You gotta love it. So yeah. The George Kambosos, man, he kills it. He trains hard. He's someone everyone can look up to. And Australian born and bred, so get after it, bro. Get after it, get into it. And number 6, we are looking at Cameron Smith. And you're like, bro, he's NRL. He is NRL. But he's also a fucking huge advocate of... The man was one of the greatest players to ever do it. He brought rugby league, not single-handedly, but he was one of the key cornerstones in bringing rugby league to everywhere, in Australia for sure. Who the fuck doesn't know rugby league? Come on, man. Who the fuck doesn't know? Everyone fucking knows. He was a Queensland legend. He was a Melbourne Storm legend. He's still at it, bloke in a bar. He's still going crazy. So he's a big advocate for the game of rugby league. That's why he's on our list, because he's an Australian athlete. Come on, Cammy Smith. Fucking let's get after him. Let's take care of him. He's a fucking chill. He's an animal. He's an animal. He kills. So good on you. Good on you, Cammy. I'll fucking rep your shit, bro. Number 5. This man competes in the NBA. This man is a fucking dominant force in the NBA. You're like, is it Ben Simmons? Is it Ben? No, because Ben Simmons is shit. And I'll actually, if you ever want to come at me with that, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. But fuck Ben Simmons, okay? All right. This man's name is Patrick fucking Mills, baby. Oh wait, Patty Mills. Why would you have Patty? Because he fucking kills. Do we remember him in the Olympics? Hitting 3 after 3 after 3 after 3. Motherfucker look like Steph out there. He is an absolute animal. The man's an animal. He plays for the Brooklyn Nets. And Patty Mills is one of the best shooters in the NBA at the shooting guard position. He is a San Antonio legend. He's won championships. His next feat, he said, is the MVP, which I don't think that motherfucker can get, and he can do it. Don't diss our man. He's also an Aboriginal man, and he represents the Aboriginal community in a big, big way in the NBA. And the NBA has made a massive amends for the Aboriginal people, which is an amazing thing, an amazing feat to do. Think about how big that is. So he got them noticed on the global scale, which is fantastic. But the reason why we have Patty Mills so high on the list is because he's one of the best athletes to come out of Australia. He's way better than Ben Simmons, and he plays fucking games. He hits fucking shots, and he also took the Team Australia. He will be on Team Australia in the next Olympics over in France. He said that himself. So then, Patty Mills, number 4. Let's fucking kill. I love Patty Mills. He doesn't love Patty Mills. He's an absolute animal. The next one on the list at number 4. This man is known for having tantrums. I think it's good. I think it's good that he is known for that. This man's name is Nick Kyrgios. Nick Kyrgios is a fucking weapon. He's one of the best tennis players we have. He is. He really, really is. He's one of the best talents we have. Everyone's like, but his attitude, he's calmed down over the years. You have to understand that Nick Kyrgios came into the sport of tennis as a 19-year-old. Can we all agree that we're a bit of a wild fucking species right now? We don't know what the fuck we're doing. We're just having a good time. So he came into the game of tennis at 19 years old, and he's been killing it ever since. But everyone's like, but his attitude, well, he has to be a bit arrogant. He's one of the best to ever do it. When you're at this pinnacle, you have to have a bit of arrogance to get there. You have to. I know it doesn't sound nice. I know it isn't friendly, but you kind of have to. You have to have that little bit of arrogance, a little bit of an ego to say, hey, look, fuck you. I'm better than you. And let me prove it. And that's how they get to the top. That's how they do it. That's how you make the rise. Okay, you can't walk into a sport without an ego or without a bit of an edge and expect to rise to the ranks. It's just not going to happen. You have to have a bit of a kick too. You have to have a bit of a, you have to have some sort of spark around you. And Nick's calmed down over the years, but he cops a lot of shit. But he's grown up. We've seen him grow up, if that makes any sense. But he's an incredible talent on the court. So yeah, Nick Kyrgios, well done. Number 4. Number 3. If you are a Formula One person, this is for you. Daniel Ricciardo. Ricciardo? Yes, Ricciardo. I know nothing of the sport of F1, but I know one thing: that McLaren driver is fucking good. He's an absolute weapon when it comes to the social media. When they shot him in Melbourne and he had his McLaren and he goes, yeah, I can't drive this, but I really want to. And so what he did was he got a replica, like a plastic toy replica made of like those little electric ones that kids have, and he made it so he could drive it. I thought that was dope. But yeah, Daniel Ricciardo. I know nothing of Formula One, but I know he's an Australian and he fucking goes hard. So shout out to Daniel. I've seen him party. That's like half the job, right? Shout out to Daniel Ricciardo, Team McLaren, rock and roll. At number 2, this man was a former bricklayer, now a fucking UFC champion. Give it up for Robert Whittaker. Come on, man. Robert Whittaker kills people. He's also known as an Australian athlete. He's sponsored by Musashi, and he's also sponsored by a good fucking time, right? Robert Whittaker is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. He really, really seriously is. And he's also an incredible inspiration. And more importantly, he was the first ANZ champion in the UFC, and he's a big advocate for ANZ athletes. The reason why he's at number 2 is because he voices it, and he goes, fuck yeah, Australia. That's what we love to see. He has a tattoo of the Southern Cross on his chest. Come on, can you get any more Australian than that? Can you? Fuck no. Well, you probably could, but he's taking a step in the right direction. At number 1, this man is actually one of the biggest talents who's ever come out of Australia. He'll be on our top 10 all time for sure. One of the nicest people you'll ever meet. He was a former semi-professional rugby league player who turned martial artist. If you don't know who I'm talking about, his name is Alexander Volkanovski. And I know what you're thinking, JR, we get it. You like MMA. JR, we get this. Volkanovski started in martial arts at 21 years old. He's 36, and the motherfucker's nearly the double champ. Is that not inspirational as fuck? I think it's inspirational as fuck. The thing is, Alexander Volkanovski helps every athlete. He helps the NRL St. George Dragons. He helps the NRL Blues. He helps every single Australian thing he can. He promotes the fuck out of it, and I promote the fuck out of him. So there you go. There are top 10 Australian athletes. They're an incredible bunch, incredible batch, incredible people who we can use as inspiration for our day-to-day lives. Okay? So, on this note, remember, support these following people. Joel Downey Cave over in Liverpool. Jack Della Molina over in the fucking UFC, who will be fighting on the next card. Help out our brother Robert Whittaker against Paulo Costa. Help out Alexander Volkanovski against Islam Mahamovic. I don't know how to say his last name. I don't really care. He's going to lose. Help out Taito Avasa against the fucking polar bear. That's the guy's name he's versing. And help out our brother Neddy Brockman with helping the homeless community. If you can do anything, do something, okay? Anything is better than nothing. So, on that note, earn your fucking salt, and I'll see you on the next one.